Welcome back to my next playthrough series. This time it's Atlantis Rising. This is basically a cooperative game. You can play it solo. There's a true solo mode, and that is what we are going to be doing. And this is what the board looks like. And the gist of the game is Atlantis, here the island, is sinking. The gods are not happy with us anymore, and they're going to flood the place. And what happens is you flood tiles, they flip over, and you see the water side. And you lose the game when basically all of the tiles, including the center, have been flipped over and it's flooded. What are we trying to do? We're trying to gather resources to build the gate, the power core, which is going to get us a gate to elsewhere to win the game. But we have to build all of these things over here we'll take a look at here in a second, which are all of the pieces that need to go into building the gate. There's 20 of them in the game. You need to build 9 of them, and you can just randomly grab some. I grabbed all the A's, which are the easiest ones to build, and then I just randomly grabbed the rest. I think there's 5 A's. So I have 5 A's. I have 3 C's and a B. So I don't know. The book tells you specifically how to set it up. I just grabbed all the A's, which are easiest, and like I said, just 4 of the random ones. Oh dear, so you have wild peninsulas, they're called. They've got numbers on them. We're going to be rolling dice to gather resources. This one is to increase our population, get some more workers. It's a worker placement game. So we start with 4 worker placements, or 4 workers, and our leader. And our leader has a special ability. Again, we'll look at that as well. And we have Wrath of the Gods. We have to look at everything. There's so much going on. So we have 3 wild tiles. So this is to gather, get new recruits. We can get 3 of them total. This is to gather mystic crystals. This is to gather gold. And then we are... so there's the 3 wild tiles. I'm getting it confused. This is for getting more people. This is for getting crystals, this is for getting gold, this is for getting ore, which we then convert into Atlantium to end up building things. And this is the library where we can get cards. There's so much going on in this game. There's lots of how to play. I think Rodney Smith once again did a how to play, so if you want to check that out, it will pretty much explain everything. We're going to kind of learn as we play. Let's take a quick look at our character and what's going on there. Alright, so the character we're actually playing is the Explorer, and it says when your leader is on a tile of a wild peninsula, the target number for that is reduced by 1. So you'll see how that works. We start with 2 mystic energies. Mystic energies here, you can use one of them to increase a die number by 1. You can use one of them to keep a card instead of either putting it at the bottom of the deck or discarding it. You can use 4 mystic energies to build a mystic barrier, and the mystic barrier will be used to try and stop peninsulas from flooding, and you can use 5 of them to unflood a tile. Okay, in the game, so in a purely solo game, you get your leader, and you get 4 villagers that are helping you, which are your people for doing worker placement. You have an automaton, which is a little robot guy. It does not gather resources, but it adds +2 to the dice rolls of any 2 that it's on the same peninsula with. And then we have a hologram, which is basically a guest character for every turn. So you randomly, there's 10 characters you can get in the game, and I've chosen the Explorer. And so there's 9 other ones, so you randomly shuffle them, and you grab. So I just grabbed 1 to start with the Guardian. So the hologram is going to be able to use the Guardian's ability, as well as your own leader's ability. We have an ability for the Explorer. The Guardian has an ability for the hologram. So we kind of get 2 leaders. We got 4 worker placements and a robot. We'll see how it works. So his ability is when a tile in the same peninsula as your leader is about to be flooded, you may prevent the tile from flooding by returning your leader to the pool without taking its action. So basically it just stops that one peninsula from flooding, but you don't get to use the ability of that character. Oh my goodness. Alright, there are things we need to build. So basically we need to gather resources, build 9 of these special tiles, and once the 9 are built, then we can build the power core to win the game. It's all gathering resources and building things. Let's take a look at our board and the things we need to build. Alright, not sure how well this is showing up. So basically, to build one of these tiles, and they all have either one-time benefits or worker placement benefits once they're built. So this one here, you can see the numinous beacon takes 2 crystals and 2 gold to build it. And to build, we have to go to the center of this tile here and put workers on here. So this is a 5+ game, so we can put 2 workers on here. There's 2 spots to put workers, I should say. But we're playing complete solo, so we can build two tiles a turn. Basically, if we have the resources, we got to get the resources first. Not always easily done, and Atlantis is going to be flooding very quickly. So once we get all 9 of these tiles built, then of course the power core, we build it, we win the game. That's how we do it. So it's basically worker placement, gather resources, build stuff, try not to get flooded out, and there you go. All right, we got a couple more things to look at. Then we're going to have a first turn. You'll see how it works. Now, like I said, the gods are not too impressed with us, and this is the Wrath of the Gods board. So you can see this is 0 to start with, and it's going to be 1. And this is the number of tiles you flip at the very last part of, there's 4 phases to a turn. The last phase is Wrath of the Gods. So the very first turn, we're not going to flood over any tiles, but the second turn will flood 1. Third turn will flood 1, then 2, 2, and the 3 repeated. And I put the little mystic crystals here because at the beginning of every turn, as a purely solo game, you actually get a mystic crystal. And we start the game with 2, I should mention. So here are 3 workers that we can recruit. And then these white ones here are, what do they call them? They call them volunteers. So they're extras that can be gotten through cards. Well, what are the cards? Well, first up we have this lovely Misfortune deck, which is absolutely huge. I'm going to give that a shuffle because in the solo game, we're going to be pulling 4 of these every turn, and they're pretty much all bad. We're playing an easy game, so we have 9 calm seas in it and 2 overflood tiles. I forget what they are called. They are called Controlled Flood, which is 2 at a time. And then we have a library deck of cards, and in this deck are 4 of the, I think there's 9 artifacts in the game. We have a hand limit of 4, so if you ever have more than 4 cards, you've got to discard down to 4. Oh, I know, lots of talking. And there you go. So that's our library deck, and we have these giant chunky dice, which I'll be throwing down the dice tower. And then our different resources. We have gold, we have ore, we have crystals, and we have adamantium. And we need all of these things to build those 9, I forget what they're called. The 9 of these we need to build, and then we need to build the final power core to win the game. Oh dear me. All right, what do we do in a turn? There's 4 phases. There's place out all your workers, and then there's flipping over 4 of the Misfortune cards, and then there's gathering all your resources, doing your actions, and then there's Wrath of the Gods. You do that over and over until you've either built your power core, won the game, or the entire island is flooded. Oh dear me. All right, let's begin. We are going to be placing our workers out on Atlantis and try and gather resources. Ah dear, yes, it's a very thinky game. And I made myself a little cheat sheet here. So to build everything, we need to gather 14 crystals, 11 gold, and 11 adamantium to do it. So, all right, our explorer's ability as we get to roll, it'll be 1 less to gather resources. We need a lot of crystals. We need the most crystals. So we're going to put our leader on here. I guess I'll stand them up. So we can, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can see them. And 1 of the workers will go here as well. Then we're going to go ahead and put the robot here. And the robot's going to also be with 1 worker. And I do believe it's just, actually, you know what? We're going to put the robot and 2 workers up here because we want to get as many crystals as we possibly can. And then we have the hologram, and we also have 1 worker left. And where do we want to put those guys? Oh, this is such a tough game to try and figure out. You have such limited resources, you got to try to do stuff. I think we're going to go right down to the bottom here. Actually, no, we won't go right to the bottom because we do want to use them. We're going to go here And we're going to put our worker here. Oh dear. Alright, so that's the first part of the game, is you place out all your workers. And now we have to suffer 4 misfortune cards and see what happens. Oh my goodness. Alright, so this was shuffle. I can give it another shuffle just in case, you know. You think I'm cooking things, which in this game we're probably going to get crushed, but we'll see. Let me give it our best shot. Alright, there we go. So 4 misfortune cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, we do them one at a time. So I just don't want to forget any. So the first misfortune card we have is Calm Seas, which means, as you can see, nothing happens. Love it! Okay, nothing's flooded yet. And then we have the cities. Oh, one of the cities tiles gets flooded. Let's go over there and check it out. Well, this is the cities tile. We do have our hologram here. We can get rid of the hologram, which means the tile won't flood. But then I don't know if you could... I think you can still roll for this solo as an 8. But I think we're just going to let it get a little bit flooded here. Boom! Alright, and we've got 2 more misfortune cards. The forests get flooded. Oh, dear me. And let's get over to the forests. And the forests are where we are currently trying to get crystals. So, yeah, I guess we're flooding that one. And our final misfortune card is the hills. And I do believe the hills is where the gold is, and we need a lot of gold too. So let's go ahead and flood one of those. Yep, things are flooding really, really quickly. Boom, this gets flooded out. All right, well, we survived those 4 misfortune cards, and now it's time to gather resources. So let's see if we can. And of course, I totally forgot the first thing that we do is we do get a mystic energy. So we do have 3 mystic energies. All right, let's see if we can get our extra worker. I think we can see the dice right there. So we have our hologram guy, and we have a worker here. I'm going to remove them from the board. You're supposed to lay them down, but I'm just going to do it so I kind of remember what I'm doing. So we need an 8. We're going to roll 2 dice, and we have to add up to 8 or more. Come on. And we get 8. Perfect. Oh, that is perfect. So that means we get one of our workers. So that's cool. So we get an extra worker now every turn. That is certainly going to help us out. Over to this tile. Now we are looking for crystals. And the robot here lets these 2 guys add +2 to their dice roll. So instead of a 6, we're going to need a 4. But because we have our leader here, we just need 3s. So you roll them one at a time. The robot doesn't actually gather anything, so I'm take them off. So our first, come on, we need a 3. We get a 2. We're going to pay 1 mystic energy to make it a 3 so that we can gather a crystal. Because we really, really, really need crystals. All right, come on, let's roll a 3. So that was our first guy. The second one, no, we can spend 2 mystic energy. That's just a waste of 2 mystic energy, so we're not going to. This guy just blows it. All right, we're over to our leader. And the other one, come on, 3s. Oh my god, we will spend 1 mystic energy to make that a 3. We are having a horrible time gathering resources. So, 2 crystals. Wow, so far we've just managed to get 2 crystals. All right, come on. We can get higher than 1 and 2. A 6, there we go. Boom! So this guy ends up gathering a crystal. Okay. So, bottom line now is we have 3 crystals. We have 3 crystals, and that's it. 3 crystals, and that's it. But we did get an extra worker. That's cool. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 workers, our leader, the automaton, the hologram. We have 1 mystic energy left over. All right, and now it is time to suffer the wrath of the gods. Well, it is the first turn, so we suffer 0 extra tiles being flooded, but yep, we move the token over. And that's it. So I think I'm going to leave it off there. I'm not sure how many turns we're going to do an episode. Maybe 1, 2. It depends how long they take. But just for today, we did a bit of an introduction, and we're just doing 1 episode. So I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to wrap up for today. So yes, the race is on to gather resources, and yeah, and try not to have everything flooded. So we've got We got 3 tiles flooded. We didn't use our Guardian ability, but we wanted to make sure he was there. I don't know if we can use the Guardian ability. I'm going to have to double check that because you have to have 2 workers here. I think you can still roll with 1 die. I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm going to flip that back over. Because the Guardian then would have gone back to his spot, but there was still a worker here to roll dice, but I don't know if you have to have 2 here. I think the Guardian works that way, so this wouldn't be flooded. I'm pretty sure. If it's incorrect, I'll fix it at the beginning of next episode. Alright, we got 3 crystals out of the deal. We need 11. So we need 11 more crystals, 11 gold, 11 adamantium. Oh, and yeah, those misfortune cards are brutal. We still have 2 more workers we can collect, which we probably want to do as quickly as we can to help us out, because the more workers we have, the more chance we have of gathering resources. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Atlantis Sinking. It's Atlantis Rising. This is the 2nd edition. I've never played the 1st, so I don't know. We're playing a true solo game. And join me next time for tomorrow, and we'll continue on. So we will be discarding the Guardian, and we will be drawing 2 more tiles, 2 more characters, and the hologram then will be the one that we choose. So thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow for the continuation of Atlantis Rising, complete solo playthrough. So one little correction here at the end of the episode. I did look it up at Board Game Geek. If you use the Guardian here, which we did, and the Guardian disappears, then with 1 worker left here, you can't roll to get an extra worker. So I'm going to rule out that, nope, the Guardian didn't use his ability. I guess we shouldn't have used him there. We should have used him somewhere else. So this tile is indeed flooded. Error number 1. So yes, this game is very tight, and you've got to make, I think, the correct decision every turn, or you're going to get crushed. So we'll see how I do. Thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Continuation, Atlantis Rising. But of course, one more correction here at the end. The robot, the automaton, gives you +2 for 2. So this would be 4, and our leader was here 3. So that worked out okay. But the leader was here with one of the characters, and the leader, we rolled actually a 2, and we needed a 4 because she only reduces it by 1. So we do need to spend our other mystic crystal energy to actually get that. So, and we rolled a 6 for the second one. So that fixes everything up. I hope I got all the errors. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow for a continuation of Atlantis Rising.